There is a child sitting in your home right now who may not be confused, lazy, distracted, or directionless. They may simply be misread. And that is where intelligence mapping changes everything. Because when I look at a young person, I am not only asking what subject are they good at, I am asking something deeper. What is the operating system of their mind? Where does their joy naturally open? What kind of work makes their intelligence come alive? What does their planetary placement reveal about the way they learn, speak, create, relate, and succeed? Today, I want to take you into an actual intelligence mapping case study. I will use an imaginary name for privacy. Let us call her Maya. Now, Maya is not just another teenager trying to choose a stream, course, career, or college direction. She represents thousands of young people today. Gen Zs, sensitive children, creative children, emotionally deep children, children who are intelligent but not always understood by standard academic systems. And when I mapped Maya's chart, one thing became very clear. This child is not meant to be pushed into a dry, mechanical, repetitive path where her mind has no beauty, no people, no emotional meaning, and no voice. Her intelligence is different. Her intelligence is layered. Her intelligence is aesthetic, verbal, psychological, relational, and deeply intuitive. And this is exactly why planetary intelligence mapping is so powerful, because it does not randomly label a child as smart or weak. It shows how the intelligence works. It shows whether the child thinks through language, emotion, design, logic, movement, sound, relationships, nature, self-reflection, or meaning. That is why I call planetary placement the diagnostic engine of intelligence mapping. Because the planet shows the function, the sign shows the operating style, the house shows the field of expression, the conjunction shows the combined intelligence, the karaka shows the soul and career direction. When you combine these properly, you are no longer guessing. You are reading the intelligence blueprint. Now let us look at Maya. Maya has Sagittarius rising. This immediately tells me that the foundation of her personality is not small thinking. Sagittarius is the seeker, the student of life, the one who needs meaning, truth, philosophy, wisdom, and a larger purpose. So when a child like this asks questions, do not silence her by saying, just study what is given, because her mind does not work only through memorization. Her mind wants to know why. Why does this matter? Why should I learn this? Where does this fit in the bigger picture? How does this connect to life, people, truth, purpose in the world? This is the first key. Maya has a truth-seeking intelligence. She will not fully engage with education unless the subject has meaning. She needs a larger vision. But there is more. She also has Ketu in the first house, along with Sagittarius rising. Now this is important. Ketu in the first house makes the child inwardly detached, observational, subtle, and sometimes difficult to understand from the outside. Such children may not always express everything they are processing. They may appear quiet, distant, philosophical, unusual, or selective. But internally, their mind is working. They are observing patterns. They are sensing contradictions. They are detecting what is fake. They are not easily impressed by surface-level noise. This gives Maya strong existential intelligence. She may naturally think about life, destiny, truth, spirituality, purpose, and the deeper reason behind human behavior. Now imagine pushing such a child only toward marks, ranks, comparison, and social approval. You will not unlock her intelligence. You will exhaust it. This is why intelligence mapping matters, because the child who looks distracted may actually be searching for meaning. The child who looks quiet may be observing deeply. The child who does not fit into a rigid academic box may actually be carrying a different type of brilliance. Now, the most important part of Maya's chart is her second house. She has Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Capricorn in the second house. And Venus is her Atma Karaka. This is a powerful intelligence signature. Let me simplify this. The second house is the house of speech, voice, values, family, resources, wealth, food, memory, perception, and the way a person expresses value into the world. So when three major planets sit here, the intelligence becomes strongly connected to voice, language, expression, values, aesthetics, and resource creation. Now, Mercury in the second house gives communication intelligence. This child can learn through words, structure, speech, writing, and explanation. But Mercury is in Capricorn. That means her communication is not random. It wants structure. It wants discipline. It wants clarity. It wants usefulness. She may not like vague teaching. She may prefer clean frameworks, organized notes, practical examples, and step-by-step explanation. This gives her strong linguistic intelligence, but not merely casual talking. This is structured speech, strategic speech, professional speech. This can become writing, teaching, podcasting, content creation, branding, counseling scripts, public speaking, educational communication, or advisory work. Now add the sun. The sun in the second house gives authority through speech. Her identity wants to be respected for what she says, how she speaks, what she knows, and what values she carries. So as she matures, Maya may become someone whose words carry weight. She may not simply talk to fill space. She may speak to define, guide, correct, influence, and clarify. Now add Venus as Atma Karaka. This is the soul planet, and Venus as Atma Karaka tells me that Maya's soul is deeply connected with beauty, harmony, refinement, love, aesthetics, relationships, art, emotional value, and creative expression. But Venus is in Capricorn, so this is not scattered creativity. This is disciplined creativity. This is beauty with structure, art with purpose, expression with responsibility, design with utility, voice with refinement, love with maturity, creativity with professional value. This is why I would not read Maya as a purely academic child, and I would not read her as a purely artistic child either. She is a structured, aesthetic communicator. That is a very specific intelligence type. She may enjoy beauty, but she wants beauty to mean something. She may enjoy words, but she wants words to be useful. She may enjoy design, but she wants design to have emotional or practical impact. She may enjoy people, but she wants depth, not empty socializing. This is the power of planetary mapping. A normal career test may say creative field. But planetary intelligence mapping says, no, this is not random creativity. This is Venus Atma Karaka in Capricorn in the second house with Mercury and Sun. This is refined verbal aesthetic intelligence with leadership potential through speech, content, design, values, and communication. That is a much sharper diagnosis. Now let us go deeper. Maya's moon is a Matya Karaka, and it is placed in Cancer in the 8th house. This is one of the most important placements in the entire case. The Amatya Karaka shows career intelligence, work direction, and the skill through which the person functions in the world. Moon as Amatya Karaka makes the career path connected to emotion, care, psychology, nurturing community, people, healing, and emotional intelligence. But Moon is in Cancer, its own sign. That makes the emotional intelligence strong, and it is in the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of hidden things, depth, transformation, secrets, psychology, trauma, crisis, occult, research, emotional rebirth, and the unseen mechanics of life. So what does this mean? Maya does not just feel. She investigates feeling. She may naturally sense what people are hiding. She may detect emotional pain behind someone's smile. She may understand family patterns, fears, wounds, trauma, and silent emotional needs. She may be drawn to psychology, healing, counseling, astrology, emotional transformation, hidden knowledge, or deep research. This gives her psychological intelligence, not ordinary empathy, deep empathy. This child may not be satisfied with surface friendships, surface learning, surface beauty, or surface success. She wants to understand what is underneath. Why does someone behave that way? Why do relationships break? Why does a child become anxious? Why does a family repeat the same emotional pattern? Why do people hide pain behind achievement? Why does trauma become personality? This is the kind of mind that can become a counselor, psychologist, emotional educator, relationship coach, healing arts practitioner, researcher, writer, astrologer, or transformation guide. Now here is the beautiful connection. Her Venus Atma Karaka is in the second house of speech. Her moon Amatya Karaka is in the 8th house of hidden emotions. So her soul wants beauty and expression, while her career intelligence wants emotional depth and transformation. That means Maya may be here to do something very powerful. Give language to hidden emotions. Give beauty to difficult truths. Give structure to psychological chaos. Give voice to what people feel but cannot say. This is a rare and valuable intelligence pattern. Now let us look at her Jupiter and Rahu in Gemini in the 7th house. The 7th house is the house of other people, clients, partnerships, public interaction, relationships, business, audience, and the world at large. Gemini is communication, language, ideas, networking, trade, curiosity, adaptability, and information exchange. Jupiter in Gemini gives the teacher of ideas, someone who can explain, discuss, guide, interpret, and communicate knowledge. Rahu in Gemini amplifies communication. It gives hunger for reach, influence, media, diverse people, public platforms, and unconventional ways of speaking. Together in the seventh house, this gives Maya strong interpersonal intelligence. She is not meant only to sit alone with her thoughts. She is meant to engage with people. She may learn through conversation. She may understand herself through dialogue. She may attract diverse people. She may be good with clients, audiences, partnerships, consulting, teaching, media, social platforms, and public communication. But because Rahu is involved, there can also be a strong desire for recognition from the outside world. She may compare herself. She may be affected by public opinion. She may overthink how others respond to her. So as a parent, coach, or guide, you must help such a child develop a healthy relationship with audience and validation. Do not suppress her public intelligence. Refine it. Teach her how to communicate with integrity. Teach her how to influence without manipulation. Teach her how to build a voice without losing herself. Teach her that visibility is powerful only when rooted in values. Now we come to Saturn in Taurus in the sixth house. This placement adds discipline, service, routine, correction, endurance, and practical skill. The sixth house is the house of daily work, problem solving, obstacles, discipline, health, service, and improvement. Taurus is value, food, beauty, material stability, comfort, voice, aesthetics, and resources. Saturn here says Maya can become highly skilled through repetition. She may not master things instantly, but with structure and routine, she can become very refined. This supports fields like wellness, beauty, food, health routines, finance, design systems, lifestyle improvement, therapeutic practices, and practical service. But it also warns us, this child may become too self-critical. She may feel she is not good enough. She may overcorrect herself. She may compare her output to an impossible standard. She may delay her expression because she wants everything to be perfect. So her education must include encouragement, emotional safety, and practical routine, not only pressure. Now let us consider Mars in Pisces in the fourth house. Mars is action, drive, courage, and execution. Pisces is imagination, compassion, spirituality, healing, dreams, music, surrender, and emotional sensitivity. The fourth house is home, heart, peace, mother, emotional security, education, land, and inner comfort. So Mars in Pisces in the fourth shows action through compassion, protection, healing, emotional causes, and inner motivation. This is not the chart of someone who acts aggressively just for competition. She acts when she feels emotionally connected. She may enjoy healing spaces, music, retreats, emotional education, interior, spiritual environments, family healing, child development, or compassionate service. This can also support dance, yoga, expressive movement, somatic healing, or emotional release through movement. But again, it is not primarily a sports intelligence chart. It is more emotionally, aesthetically, and psychologically driven. Now, let me give you the intelligence ranking for Maya. Her strongest intelligence is visual, spatial, and aesthetic intelligence. Why? Because Venus is at Karaka. Venus is in the second house. Venus is joined with Mercury and Sun. Saturn is in Taurus. The entire chart supports beauty, voice, refinement, value, and presentation. This child may think in style, tone, atmosphere, harmony, image, design, and emotional beauty. She may enjoy fashion, branding, interiors, visual communication, design, photography, beauty, luxury, lifestyle, art direction, or creative entrepreneurship. Her second major intelligence is linguistic intelligence. Mercury in the second house gives speech. Gemini in the seventh gives communication with others. Sun adds authority. Venus adds refinement. She may do very well in writing, teaching, content creation, podcasting, public speaking, storytelling, scripting, counseling communication, branding copy, or educational media. Her third major intelligence is psychological and emotional intelligence. Moon as a Madhya Karaka in Cancer in the eighth house is a deep emotional research placement. This is excellent for psychology, counseling, therapy, emotional healing, trauma studies, astrology, symbolic systems, relationship guidance, and human behavior. Her fourth major intelligence is interpersonal intelligence. Jupiter and Rahu in Gemini in the seventh house show public-facing communication, client work, partnerships, consulting, teaching, media, and social influence. Her fifth major intelligence is existential intelligence. Sagittarius rising and Ketu in the first house show the seeker, the philosopher, the independent thinker, the child who wants meaning behind everything. Now, what should Maya study? This is where parents must listen carefully. Do not force a chart like this into a field only because it looks safe. Safety without joy becomes slow suffocation. Maya needs a field where beauty, people, voice, emotion, and meaning come together. The best study paths for her would be psychology, counseling, communication, media studies, design psychology, UX research, brand strategy, fashion communication, visual communication, creative writing, content strategy, relationship coaching, emotional education, astrology or symbolic psychology, interior design with wellness focus, music, voice, podcasting or storytelling, consumer psychology, human-centered design, art-expressive arts, spiritual counseling, child psychology, trauma-informed communication. Now notice something. I am not saying she cannot do science. I'm not saying she cannot do business. I'm not saying she cannot do technology. I'm saying her joy will come when those fields connect to people, design, communication, emotion, or meaning. For example, dry coding may not excite her, but UX design can. Pure statistics may not excite her, but consumer psychology can. Mechanical systems may not excite her, but design systems can. Corporate administration may not excite her, but branding strategy can. Medical memorization may feel heavy, but psychology, therapy, nutrition, wellness, or healing communication can feel alive. This is the difference between ordinary guidance and intelligence mapping. Ordinary guidance asks, which subject has scope? Intelligence mapping asks, which field activates the child's natural intelligence? Because when intelligence is activated, effort becomes joyful. And when effort becomes joyful, excellence becomes natural. That is the point. You do not have to motivate a child forever when the field is aligned with their intelligence. You only need to give them the right environment, the right language, the right mentors, and the right direction. Now let me speak directly to you as a parent. If your child is emotionally sensitive, do not assume they are weak. They may have emotional intelligence. If your child asks deep questions, do not assume they are distracted. They may have existential intelligence. If your child loves beauty, fashion, music, design, or aesthetics, do not dismiss it as a hobby. It may be visual spatial intelligence. If your child loves talking, writing, storytelling, or explaining, do not call it chatter. It may be linguistic intelligence. If your child observes people deeply, remembers emotional details, and senses what is hidden, do not call them overthinking. It may be psychological intelligence, but if you do not map it correctly, the very intelligence that could become their life direction may become their insecurity. That is why this system is superior and direct, because it does not depend only on marks, trends, peer pressure, or generic aptitude tests. It reads the child from the root. The planets show the intelligence function. The signs show the style. The houses show where it expresses. The conjunctions show how different intelligences combine. The karakas show the soul and career direction. This is why planetary placement becomes the diagnostic engine. In Maya's case, the diagnosis is very clear. She is not designed for a lifeless path. She is designed for a path where she can communicate, beautify, understand, heal, guide, and influence. She is a child who may find deep joy when her work helps people feel understood. She may find connection with the world through voice, design, emotion, and meaning. She may become the kind of person who can take complex emotional truth and express it in a way people can finally understand. And that is not small. That is a powerful intelligence. So when you look at your child, do not ask only, what marks did you get? Ask, what lights up their eyes? What kind of problems do they naturally solve? What kind of conversations make them come alive? What do they observe that others miss? What do they create without being forced? What pain do they understand naturally? What beauty do they keep returning to? What kind of world are they trying to connect with? Because the answer may already be there. It may be in their speech. It may be in their emotional reactions. It may be in their drawings. It may be in their questions. It may be in their friendships. It may be in their silence. It may be in their obsession with stories, music, design, psychology, fashion, people, or meaning. Your child is giving you clues. The chart helps decode them. And once you decode them, you stop forcing the child into someone else's path. You start building the path that actually works for them. That is intelligence mapping. That is why I do this work. Because every child deserves to be understood before they are judged. Every teenager deserves direction before they are pressured. Every Gen Z mind deserves a map before they are pushed into a race they were never designed to run. If you want to understand your child's real intelligence type, not just what they score in school, but how their mind actually works, get in touch with me for a deep intelligence map reading. We will look at the planetary placements, the signs, the houses, the karakas, the conjunctions, and the hidden intelligence patterns that show what kind of study, career, and life direction will genuinely work for your child. Because the right path does not just produce success, it produces joy, it produces connection, it produces confidence, and most importantly, it allows your child to become who they were actually designed to be.